Alright y'all, so the cat's out of the bag finally, and everybody's gotten to see the GOC Illumina bass, but they haven't gotten to hear it yet, and that's basically what I'm here for today. So we're going to do some quick tone tests here because I'm going to do some more comparisons of this in later videos. And what we're going to hear first is just the straight up DI signal. So I'm going straight from the bass into my Audient ID14 interface. There are no pedals, there's no DI box, there's no nothing like that that's going to be coloring the sound whatsoever. I have the gain set to unity gain on the interface as well, so I'm not boosting any of the input or anything like that. Nor will I be boosting the input inside of the STL AmpHub plugin later either, just because I want you guys to hear how this sounds on its own. I don't want to be boosting anything. I have done a very basic setup on the bass, so I've set pickup height to my taste, so your mileage may vary obviously. But before we jump into those tones, I want to let you know how the controls here work. So on here we have a master volume obviously, then we have the knob that selects between the two different pickups, so it's blending. I'm going to leave it right in the middle. Maybe I'll switch between them a little bit so you can hear the sounds of each individual pickup. And then we do have a bass, mid, and treble EQ that's built in here as well. In the first video, I did misspeak when I said that these are active pickups. They're not active pickups, they're passive pickups with an active preamp. So thank you to those of you that pointed that out in the comments. I'm used to talking about guitars, as you can see, and I'm here demoing a bass. So let's go ahead and dive in. First, you're gonna hear the DI, and I will post this DI track as a download here in the description here on YouTube for you all. So feel free to download it, run it through whatever amp sims you want, and roast me for my terrible bass playing. But let's go ahead and dive into what the bass DI sounds for this GOC Illumina bass. Anytime I'm tuned to drop C, I have to play that riff. I just can't help myself on bass. And for those wondering, this is tuned to drop G right now, and the reason I'm doing that is a lot of people are comparing this to Dingwall basses, so I wanted to put it in a semi-lower tuning. Obviously at a 33 to 35 inch scale, this is not meant to go to like drop F or E or anything like that, so I'm not going to demo those tunings. But the strings I have on here are actually Dingwall strings as well. So these are I believe they were a 45 to 130. I ordered them from Dingwall for my Dingwall bass actually, which I will show you in a later video, but they're working swimmingly on here. I think Dingwall makes a fantastic set of bass strings because they also taper them at the bridge, so that way they fit into whatever bridge it is that you're using. So I actually really love their strings, even though they're super expensive and that part sucks. All right, now that we've heard the DI signal of the bass, let's go ahead and listen to this through the STL AmpHub plugin, specifically the new Ampere amp model. I really like this amp model. It's one of the best that I found as far as like plug-in form for a bass amp. And I'm also running the Dark Glass Obsidius, I think. I can't remember what that one's modeled after. I'll put it here on the screen somewhere, but it sounds really sick in front of this. So let's go ahead and hear this through an amp sim now. Alright, so that was a quick tone test from obviously somebody that's not a bass player at heart, but I do love to write and record bass for my own tracks, and that's why I am passionate about bass guitars and why I bugged GOC to make this bass for so long. But To all of you bass players out there, let me know what I should be doing different as far as crafting a bass tone for this and any other bass that I'm using for that matter. Because in talking to a lot of you through comments on the previous reveal video of this, I've noticed that a lot of you have a lot of differing ideas as far as what makes or doesn't make a great bass. And so obviously it translates into what makes a great bass tone and what doesn't make a great bass tone. So I'm completely open to trying pretty much anything that you want to hear this bass through. Let me know down in the comments below, because I really am a noob when it comes to crafting a bass tone. In the past, I would literally just put on like the Nolly grind preset inside of the Neural DSP Parallax plugin and just let it rip, right? But that obviously doesn't fit every single like song or bass tone that I'm playing. I write a lot of pop punk. I write a lot of like older alt metal and things like that didn't always necessarily use distorted bass. Sure, they had some grit to them, but they weren't always using actual distortion or gain to get their sounds. So far my thoughts after not being able to play for a little bit because I messed up my hand, but now being able to play again, I'm actually really preferring the 33 to 35 inch scale in this. I know a lot of you want a longer scale, and trust me, GOC heard you on that and they're looking at it very closely. But I actually really like having the little bit shorter scale because it means I can reach the first fret quite a bit easier, which I do struggle with on my 34 to 37 inch dingwall that I have on the wall over there. So this is kind of that perfect middle ground between, you know, my J bass and my dingwall. This gives me an extremely comfortable bass guitar to play for tunings like drop G and obviously drop C for that matter, as you heard me playing in C a lot there just now. But obviously still gives me the tuning stability and the great tone that I would expect out of those lower tunings. Now again, I haven't tuned this anything lower than drop G, and I don't know if I would, to be honest with you, at this scale length. I do have some larger strings that I could play around with and see how they sound, but I don't know, that's not really what I want this bass for. So in the next video, I'm going to tune this up to drop A so y'all can hear what it sounds like with full tension on these strings. And actually these strings might be kind of heavy for drop A in this scale length. But yeah, thank you all for your comments on the past video and all of your suggestions and feedback for GOC. They've been screenshotting and sending me those comments saying, is this true? Is this really what people think? And yes, they are listening to all of you. So please continue, keep those comments coming, keep those feedback comments coming, especially because they're listening. They want to make this the best bass that they possibly can. We all know the bass community goes pretty underserved. There's a lack of really nice bass guitars in a great price range out there. Hence why I have a dingwall bass that I went into debt to buy. I wish that this had been around back then because I probably would have gotten this instead, obviously. But yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to be posting quite a bit more at this bass, and I'm going to be crafting what I post about it around what you all want to hear. So again, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but please let me know down in the comments what you want to hear from this bass and how you want to hear it, what plugins you want to hear it from. I have like a monomyth bass pedal, I have compressors. What do you want to hear this with? Let me know and I'll try and make it happen. And yeah, that's it for today. I know it's a short video. I hope that tone test helped, and I can't wait to dive into this a lot more. Peace out, y'all.